Okay, here we are to talk about the Nigerian politics and also our politicians because recently or during this last presidential election, we are seeing the way a lot of people garnered positions all in the name of Peter Obi. We also understand that finally they announced at Tinubu as the president. Let's just say they announced him. So to keep peace and everything, let us assume for now that he is the one that won. Like I keep on saying, one thing is sure: anybody that comes in now will be a better president, or the situation in Nigeria will be better. After all, we all heard the first pronouncement that he made, which is regarding the new and old Naira notes, that he has the intention of extending it for a long time. This is what Buhari and Emefiele should have done also. So, though people are still not respecting court orders, so let us see what follows in the meantime. Meanwhile, it is also important to address the issue of the unknown people that came into power as a result of the influence of Peter Obi in Labour Party. So if you are watching, you can share this video, you can like, you can follow my page, and also if you want to discuss, you can come online so that we discuss together. It is important because most of these people, as you know, have not met with Peter Obi personally, a lot of them, and they may not have the same intentions as Peter Obi. And this is where the risk lies. Because most times we say, we are the youth, we are the youth, we are the youth. Yes, we want change, we want change, we want change. Yes, but what we do later on is what matters. Because right now, these people got their mandate through the influence of Peter Obi. But what will happen next? What will they do? Because currently we have seen that Labour Party has gathered about 34 House of Rep, National House of Rep members, and about 6 senators. This is a very, very, very good feat for any political party to begin, because all the years of the Labour Party, they have not had this kind of feats. So because of Peter Obi, they have been able to secure in one election for the first time 34 House of Rep, National House of Rep members, and 6 senators. This is very, very, very interesting. But now we have to be careful because these people delved into Labour Party because the cost, maybe they didn't have any cost, because if you look at it, it could be that Peter Obi did everything. Most of them didn't even print posters. It could be that they didn't even pay the fees that they are supposed to pay, show of interest form and all that. So it was like almost free. So for you to become a senator, probably without having costs, is almost magical. But all this was possible because of the glory of one man, Peter Obi. So what will be the actions of these people? What will be the actions? Will they keep to the ideas, or will they stick to the ideas of Peter Obi, or will they fall out? Because we trust our Nigerians. We trust our Nigerians. Most of us, we can do anything for money. And now it can be risky, because if for this first time, the people that were selected are not able to perform according to the expectations of the people, or perform in the line of the expectations of the people, it could be detrimental for Peter Obi, because now people are going to be looking up to Labour Party. Whereas these first people now that have gathered vote, that have won without even sweating because of Peter Obi. So what will they do? Ikioda Amina, good evening. You are welcome. If you want to join us, I can invite you, or you can simply request. If you want, I can invite you also. So this is the point. Now, will these people respect or adhere to what Peter Obi stands for? I mean, now you can decide to come in online if you are willing. You can ask to join, or you can update your Facebook, because now I saw that I tried to invite you, but it's telling me that for technical issues you cannot join. Maybe you need to update your Facebook. So I'm talking to Ikioda Amina. So maybe you need to update your Facebook, and then we can try again. So now this is the point. These new guys, whoever they are, we even had that bike rider, an Okada rider, even without pretty posters, even without campaigning in Edo State, won the House of Rep election because someone else did this work for him. And this someone else is Peter Obi. Peter Obi didn't go to where he is or his constituency to campaign, but the effect of Peter Obi nationwide did that for him. So our problem now is, one thing that we have to look at, that we have to also consider is, will these people stick to what Peter Obi stands for? Because these people were not mentored by Peter Obi. These people are not known well by Peter Obi. If you ask me, yes, they are not known well by Peter Obi. So these people delved in as like, let me try in the name of labor. And we also heard recently that the freeze and some people having issues about what that the freeze said about the Banky W that lost his constituency to a Labour Party member. We all know Banky W is a big shot in Nigeria. Everyone knows him in the music industry and so on and so forth. But because of Peter Obi still, because the truth is that it's not the way they even analyzed it, because most Nigerians that will go out and vote may already have in mind that they are going to vote Labour Party. So if you give them 4 sheets, all through they are going to vote Labour Party. They don't have that time to say, for president, I will vote Labour Party. For senator, I will vote APC. For rep, I will... No. Nigerians don't vote like that most times. Once you give them the papers, the mind that they have already is that I'm going to vote for Labour Party. So they are going to thumbprint Labour Party all through. That is what affected Banky W. It's not as if the people do not want Banky W, but they went there to vote for Labour Party. And Banky W is with PDP. So that is how it affected him. It's not as if the election was rigged, as it is, as we are trying to speculate. It was not rigged. Nobody rigged the election. Even the person that contested with Banky W does not have money to rig election, or may not even have the connections to rig election, because I don't know the person, even if the person is rich. But the truth is that he may not even have that connection. And Banky W is not contesting for the first time, if I can remember correctly. And this time he didn't even lose to a party that is well on ground, but he lost to Labour Party that just started because everybody wanted Labour Party. So they voted Labour, 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 Labour. But now, the part that is even more sensitive is when these people that got their mandate through Labour Party are not performing to expectation. Just as I said, APC, PDP, Labour Party, NNPP, YYPP, ADC, and so on and so forth. There are many political parties. But Labour Party gave the PDP and the APC a good fight this time to become one of the major political parties in Nigeria. And as a result of this, the people that won through Labour Party must be cautioned, because whatever they do now will affect the integrity of Labour Party and may even rubbish the name of Peter Obi. Because we know our people, they can go there now and start looking for contracts, money, and stuff like that. You may even see some of them, if they think they are being sidelined because they are from a minority political party, they can decide to even decamp to APC, which is the ruling party, to get more money or to get what they want. They won't be focused on why they went there, because with these few people, they can start to bring laws, propose bills, and do things that will affect the lives of Nigerians. But they might go there and begin to solicit for themselves. And they may even decamp to PDP, because these people, we don't even know that they can decamp to APC, PDP, anyone that favor them. Most times these days, since it is APC that they gave the presidency to, they may even decamp to APC just to become rich. So this is the situation in Nigeria. And this is where we need to watch out for. These people that won under Peter Obi, who are they? Are they ready to keep to what Peter Obi stands for? We are not saying that Peter Obi is an angel, but we saw the way people supported him. At least, maybe for the first time in Nigeria, if you can follow correctly, the way people really poured out to vote, apart from during Abiola and stuff, people really poured out. The first time voters were even more than the voters that have been existing, because everybody wanted Peter Obi. So now, will these people now keep that name, or will they rubbish the name of Labour Party and Peter Obi? Because anything they do will reflect Labour Party and Peter Obi. And these people can be approached under some certain conditions that has to do with money. They may even decamp. So this is where Peter Obi and the Labour Party must watch out for. These people that won. As of today, we have about 34 National House of Rep members and 6 senators. All put together, this is about 40 seats. No, more than 40, about 40 seats in the National House of Assembly. This is very, very important for a party that just for the first time, because Labour Party really didn't have any position formally. So maybe now, after these 40 seats, more seats may come. We may see governors also. We may see local government chairmen. We may also see ward councillors as well. This is just the beginning. But let's hope that these people will not mess up, because this is the truth. The people are so many, and you may not be able to condition them. And believe me, Nigerians, if you want to condition them too much, they may decide to switch to the side that is convenient for them, which they may refer to as comfort zone, because their intentions may be different from the intentions of Peter Obi. So this is a very, very critical issue that we must look at for. And even if Peter Obi on his own wants to do anything or has anything that he has to do to ensure that these people can keep to what he stands for, this is very, very important. Don't get me wrong, because it is the Nigerian politics, which we all know. So these people can be seen as opportune to be where they are today. But Peter Obi that brought out this aura, this possibility, was denied his mandate. Let's put it that way. Until now, the court will decide, because all evidences will be poured out and all that. Because some people are arguing that he may not have been able to get the total number that he required, the number of states and all that, because the Northerners are very many also. Maybe he may not have been able to. Maybe he didn't win. But though the election was largely rigged, some people are still arguing that maybe he didn't win if you consider a lot of things. We even saw the situation of Abuja, that Tinubu didn't win, but yet he was declared the winner, and so on and so forth. I'm sure Tinubu got about, I think he got, was it 19% of the total votes in Abuja, or 21%? So even APC didn't get up to 25% in Abuja, whereas the electoral law stated that you have to get a minimum of 25% spread across 24 states of the federation, including Abuja. Sometimes they will say Abuja, which is the Federal Capital Territory. So there is no way the Federal Capital Territory will be included in the 24 states, because the Federal Capital Territory is not a state. It has no governor. It only has a minister with about 6 local governments or so. So the FCT is not a state on its own. Now, what happened? Only the courts can interpret what actually happened, because Tinubu didn't win Abuja. He didn't get 25% in Abuja, yet he was declared winner. So maybe the courts can then interpret the constitution and the electoral laws. But what we are mostly bothered about right now is, who are these people that won under Peter Obi, and what their intentions are. So my position is that Peter Obi and Labour Party needs to be careful, because it's not as if in Nigeria we practice recall. We don't practice recall. Maybe when someone that you voted for starts to misbehave, there's supposed to be a way of having a recall, where the citizens will say, we don't want you. You have to live there. We are going to bring someone else in. We are going to vote someone else. In Nigeria, we don't practice it. So as long as these people, as soon as they begin to misbehave, you may have little or nothing to do, and they may even decide to decamp to the ruling party. And this could be dangerous to the image that Labour Party has just begun to build. So, fortunately, this is the condition that we are. Because the Nigerian politics is a very funny one. It's not the way we look at it. at times we underestimate our politicians. Though they do everything openly, our politicians are very smart. So we should take this into note. So that is why we saw in these elections, when they couldn't do it in the secret, they brought it out. Everyone saw everything that was happening. But they are still telling you today that that is the result. And that is it. In a country like Nigeria, we don't know, even if you take them to, because this is not a state election, this is a presidential election. It is quite different from a state election. Because everybody will try as much as possible to maintain the integrity of Nigeria. The time will come, there will be a lot of settlements and all that, but it will be very, very, very difficult for the court to change the decision of the INEC in Nigeria, at least. Even we saw what happened during Donald Trump and Biden. Donald Trump is still saying until tomorrow that he won that election. But he has not been able to do anything or to change what happened. But now there is still time because another election will come. And it may not be easy as it was this time to rig out someone like Peter Obi, because there may be a lot of things already in place if the people are ready to work. We already know that laws will be put in place. If we start putting laws in place, nothing will happen the way we want. This is what I always say. If by the next election, the INEC chairman is still the one that will decide who won the election, and the INEC chairman is still appointed by the president, there is nothing that we can do, because even the person that will appoint the INEC chairman will be the sitting president, which could be Tinubu or anyone else that is the president at that time. The same president will be the one to appoint the Inspector General of Police. The same president will be the one to appoint the Chief Justice of the Federation, and so on and so forth. So he owns the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Defense, and everything. And Nigeria, as we normally say in Nigeria, power from above, order from above, and that is it. So things need to change, laws need to change. So we are hoping that these Labour Party members that are going to the National House of Assembly will be able to bring some changes before the next election. If not, the story will remain the same. This is the point. There is nothing that we, like I always say, no matter how you think, no matter how bad you think Tinubu is, he has believers, he has followers. No matter how you think, how bad you think Atiku Abubakar is, he has followers, he has lovers. No matter how bad you think Kwakwaso is, he has believers, he has lovers, and so on and so forth. And these people are ready to do anything to make sure that they prevail. Apart from spending money around, because we also saw that, according to accusations, that some monies were paid to the INEC chairman to declare Bola Tinubu as the president. We also learned that even the president himself was not actually in accordance, but something may have also happened during the last moments, because it was as if Buhari was not really dancing to the tune of Tinubu, at least from what we saw. But it could be that something changed the last minutes, and anything could have led to this as well. So this is Nigeria politics for you. And in order for us to change the Nigerian politics, the way things are done in Nigeria, first of all, we need to change the laws. Because right now, things are done only to favor those that are making the laws and those that are in power. This is the simple truth. And without changing these laws, things will remain the same. So let Peter Obi and the Labour Party ensure that the people that are going there will go there to do what is right. If not, they are going to rubbish the name of Labour Party and everything is going to be like starting all over again. This is the simple truth. This is the simple truth because already we have seen that even recently the Court of Appeal again said that people should be accepting the old notes till on the 31st of December, if I can still remember correctly. But people are not accepting it because if you make law and that law is not put into force, is not enforced, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't make sense. But by the time you say this thing has to be like this, and anybody that contravenes will be punished like this, then when a person truly go against that law, you call the law enforcement agents, the police, and that person is picked up and meant to pay the fine or whatever it is, the others will obey, they will follow. But in Nigeria, the laws are not enforced. So the Supreme Court has said it, but people are not following it. Some are even saying they want to hear from Emefiele. Some are saying they want to hear from Buhari after the Supreme Court has spoken. So this is Nigeria for you. Nobody is even thinking of maybe the Minister of Finance, the Ministry of Finance or anything. Nobody wants to hear. Now, even the Supreme Court has spoken and people are still not accepting the old notes. That means there is no justice or there is no democracy as much as we think. So these laws need to be enforced. Any trader, any business person, any bank that rejects the old note as of today in Nigeria is supposed to be sanctioned, arrested, or punished for that act. If not, nobody will listen. People continue to suffer. The court will only make their own pronouncements and the situation will remain the same. So what is the use of making a pronouncement if it is not going to change anything? This is where the laws come in and the enforcers as well. Because if the Nigerian police force has not gotten order from the presidency to take any action, they will not move. So this is the problem of Nigeria. This is the major problem of Nigeria. Whereas the police are supposed to be independent. The police are supposed to be able to decide on their own. I made a video the other day how the police boss should be appointed, how the chief judge should be appointed. I made the video because in other places, you don't see a police boss being appointed directly by the president. No. What they do is, take for instance, Italy, where I'm living. The Minister of Internal Affairs, that's the Interior Minister, will pick a senior police officer. Could be as a result of interviewing other police officers and all that. He will select one person. That person that he has selected, because he is in charge of the security of the nation, so he will pick one person, then pass that person to the cabinet of ministers. So all the ministers will now scrutinize that person. When they are satisfied, they will now pass this person to the president to be nominated. And the president in his position cannot say, no, I don't like this person, because it is not his duty. He only has the duty to nominate the person because the person has been approved by the interior minister, the cabinet of ministers. Now he only has to mention the name to the citizens. So such a person cannot be under the command of the president or under the command of one single person. So such a person will take decisions based on what is positive for the security of his place and not to favor anybody because he was not appointed as a favor. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, the president can just wake up and say, this policeman is not the Inspector General of Police. And that is it. So what will now make you think that Inspector General of Police will not listen to that president that appointed him? Because now he has helped him, he did him a favor. So he's going to pay back that favor. And that is why he's there, to respect and listen to him. The same thing goes down to the state level, where you find the commissioner of police also selected by the governor, appointed. Chief Justice of the state, the same thing. So where will the justice come from? One-sided. Okay, we had a hitch in the internet connection, so now we are back. Let us look at the Chief Justice of the Federation. In most countries, even in the country like Italy, the Chief Justice of the Federation is selected within themselves. The judges, the bar associations, the lawyers, and all of them, they select who will become the Chief Justice, the Chief Judge. So after everything, they may put to vote. Maybe one or two or three people are selected. They have their own way of selecting who this president will be at the level of justice. So at the end of the day, they will present the justice, which was not appointed by the president or by any politician, but selected by colleagues. So this person is not going to give favor to anybody. He's going to stick to the law because he is not there because he was favored by a politician or by the president. You see the differences. So as long as we continue to ignore these things can never be the way we want. Because even if you go to court, the president rules the court as well. Why? Because even the judge can decide to pass the correct judgment and it will not be enforced. But if a judge passes a judgment in a country like Italy, the police will enforce it. If the order was to go and arrest you, even if you are the president, the police will come there and arrest you. Because before they do that, they already know that even if you have immunity, they will also quote a law that will make you either to be stopped or to wait when you leave power. But the judgment will wait for you anytime and they are coming to pick you. So if a court passes any judgment regarding any decree or anything that should be done and nobody is doing it, the police will enforce it. Whether it favors the politicians or not, they will enforce it. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. So if laws are made and they are not enforced, those laws are useless. So this is the problem that we have in Nigeria, whether we like it or not. Even if we cry from today till tomorrow, the first thing that we need to do is to make sure that the laws that are favorable to democracy. Until now, the Nigerian laws are not favorable to democracy. Even the immunity law in Nigeria is not favorable to democracy. Even the lower house at the time tried to change the law on immunity in Nigeria, but the senators didn't approve it. I think that stuff is still pending right there. So this is just the situation in Nigeria. And these are the things that we should first of all look into and try to change. Whether you are supporting Peter Obi, whether you are supporting Tinubu, whether you are supporting Atiku, whether you are supporting Kwakasho, whoever you are supporting, Nigeria is our country. We have to do what is best for Nigeria because of the future of our children. Yes. It's tomorrow that matters. As individuals, we are nothing. But as a country, we are a substance. So that is why we need to build our nation. And not always have the mentality of thinking of individual gains. So whether we like it or not, we must change the way things are done in Nigeria. So this is very, very important. And at the level of Labour Party, Peter Obi, make sure, Labour Party, Peter Obi, make sure that the people that won election in the name of Peter Obi are checked so that they will not rubbish the name of Labour Party. Believe me, we don't know. Even Tinubu can make a very, very, very great president because because during the campaign we didn't really know what was happening. A lot of things flying around. He couldn't even make any point. But there was one day I listened to one of his interviews, and he said something very, very, very important that struck me. Though after then he also said again, I don't want to reveal the secret so that they will not copy it. Yeah, he talked about giving incentives to companies to motivate employment. Yeah, that is very, very good and is a good point. And he actually talked about tax incentives and some other things that he could do that will encourage companies to employ more people. That is a good point. Then after that, I just said, no, I won't talk more than this. You want them to copy me. So let us see. Very soon, he will be sworn in as the president, and we'll see how it will go. He's a businessman also. Maybe he can come up with a good monetary policy. Maybe he can come up with a good pricing policy. Maybe he can come up with good international relations, good foreign direct investment policies, and so on and so forth. So let's see what happens. So on this note, I will leave you now and come back later to talk with you on issues bordering on Nigeria. So stay blessed and see you later. Bye for now.